Hey everyone. Hello. Rory and I just wanted to pop on and say hello. Rory is quite desperate to lick some people. It's been nearly 3 weeks since we went to 100% telehealth sessions, and Rory has not been coping terribly well. I posted a couple of photos, but I haven't posted the worst of them because she just looked so sad and so tragic. I thought it would actually just depress people too much if they saw the sad little face now that she's not allowed to lick people every day. So it got me thinking though, some of the things that we've implemented in this last week or so to help Rory are exactly the types of things that we're talking about with clients and that we're trying to encourage clients to do. So I thought, we're still an animal assisted therapy practice, even if, come around this way, there we go. Even if the animals aren't able to be as interactive as they would like, yes. Maybe Rory would serve as a good model for some of the things that you can be doing, that you can be focusing on right now to keep yourself sane in this truly insane time. So one of the things that we noticed with Rory, and that is definitely true for all of the humans that we've had interactions with as well, is the lack of routine did not sit well with her. Not knowing where she was going to be at a certain time, not knowing, when we get up, what we're going to be doing in the morning, if we're going to be working in the home office, if we're going to be working out at one of the other offices collecting files. The uncertainty of the whole thing was just not suiting her particularly well. So we instigated more of a routine. We made sure that we still get up and give her a walk at the same time. She gets dinner at the same time. And I decided I was going to work out of the home office on certain days and out of the physical offices at Burwood Highway or Crown Court on other days, but I would keep them regular so she would kind of know what to expect. The other thing that we really noticed, and is again the same thing that happens with the humans, is the lack of attunement and the lack of connection. So telehealth is awesome. It's amazing that we have that opportunity to use telehealth to keep in touch with so many of our clients, but it's just not the same. And nothing brought that home to me more clearly than in the first week. Oh, come here, sweetie. I know this chair is not comfortable for two people. I'm sorry. In the first week, as soon as the clients would come on, you want to take over the live stream, sweetie? Yeah, go for it. That's all right. When the clients would come on, she could hear their voices on the computer, but she couldn't get to them. So she would come rushing in and rushing over to the desk, and then just look at me like, "What are you doing? Why would you tease me like this?" It was quite sad, and I will post a photo of depressed Rory for how she was from the first week after this, just so you can see the difference that some routine, some structure, and finding other ways to get that attunement. Hey Jackie, hey Simone. Just finding, and Eliza, hello. Just finding ways to get that attunement in other ways that we're not able to get face to face at the moment. So, all right, off you go. So we know the things that tend to have the biggest impact on us in terms of recovery from trauma, and trauma is anything that overwhelms our ability to cope. This is all brand new, uncharted territory. I refuse to use the other word because that's getting used way too much at the moment, but it's something that overwhelms our ability to cope. I think it's safe to say that most of us are now in a situation that overwhelms our previous ability to cope. Most of us will come through this with actually a higher threshold for coping. A lot of us will find resilience that we didn't know we had, but a lot of people will really struggle as well. And the things that we know that contribute to a more negative outcome over this type of large-scale trauma is things like unpredictability and uncertainty, feeling like there's been a loss to your sense of safety, and a loss of connection. The sense of helplessness that comes with that unpredictability is a really key factor as well. So while most of us are probably starting to roll our eyes a little bit every time we see another meme telling us to just get out and move, or get a routine, or even if you're not working and you're stuck at home trying to suddenly learn how to homeschool 3 kids under 5 and all that, you've got to have a routine and it's really important. It's true, but I figure that most people are going to, hopefully it will help understanding why that's true, why that's important. The reason that everyone's going on about routine is routine gets us moving, keeps us activated, and deals a little bit with that sense of unpredictability. It counters the unpredictability that we're feeling in the outside world by making things a little bit more structured and predictable in our home world, in our home environment, in the bits that we can control. So that's why people are going on about routine all the time. The other thing is exercise and getting moving. Everyone's going on, get out, go for a walk, all of this kind of stuff, which is, pretty good advice most of the time. But in this case, it's actually vital to do something that gets your body moving, that gets the muscles moving, and gets those parts of your brain associated with movement going, because that's going to counter the sense of helplessness. When we feel helpless, we tend to freeze. We tend to sort of withdraw, go into ourselves. The opposite of that is action. If you can be taking action, if you can be moving, if you can be doing something, even if it's playing board games, but if it's doing something active and creative and moving, you are countering that sense of immobility and freeze that a lot of us are feeling at the moment. That in turn will help with that sense of autonomy, that sense of I have some agency, I have some power in my own life. And we really need that at the moment, again, to counter that helplessness and to help with that sense of I can still find meaning, I can still find purpose. I don't have to just numb myself up with Animal Crossing and endless Netflix binges. Not that there isn't a place for those as well. I would never knock a Netflix binge, but in moderation. You want to try and strike a balance between numbing yourself to all the craziness that's going on and actually allowing yourself to notice what you're feeling, so you have a chance to soothe what you're feeling, to address what you're feeling. Yeah, Kim, absolutely. Netflix and chocolate. Totally. It's quite handy that Easter came in the middle of this. Hey, Jane. So it's that getting moving to counter the sense of immobility and helplessness. Routine and structure to counter the sense of unpredictability and uncertainty. And learning to turn inwards and actually notice what's happening. Notice if you are feeling stressed. Notice if you're feeling the need for chocolate. Notice if you're feeling the need for a walk. Notice if you're feeling the need to scream at the kids. Whatever. But noticing it gives you the chance to then choose an action rather than just reacting to an emotion that's going on under the surface. My favorite phrase, my favorite sentence for myself and for all of my clients is, you want to learn to act instead of react. That noticing is that first opportunity to do that. Giving yourself a moment to stop and go, wait, how am I actually feeling right now? As scary as that might seem, as bad as it might seem, you might think, why the hell would I want to pay attention and notice that I'm feeling crappy right now? You want to notice because then you have a chance to address it. And when we address it, then you can change it. If we don't address it, it just goes bubbling along underneath the surface, and before you know it, it comes out in all sorts of unexpected ways. The other analogy that I really like, and most of my clients will be familiar with this one, is at the moment, the Netflix binges and the chocolate and all of that kind of stuff, it's like trying to shove a beach ball under the water. It's pushing all of the discomfort and all of the yucky feelings that we don't really want to look at under the water. And at some point, there'll be one more wave. It might be something really simple. It might be something really nothing. It might be the dog barks at a cat. I don't know. And that's the thing that tips you over. That's the thing that lets the beach ball just slam you in the face. So we want to get used to noticing the beach ball, looking at the beach ball, and owning the beach ball. This is what we're going to do with our beach ball. We're not just going to keep pushing it under the waves, because that's pointless and it's exhausting, and at some point it will come back and hit you in the face. So stopping paying attention is going to counter that sense of, I don't know where I am in time and space, and there is no meaning to life. I'm going to see if I can just switch this over. You know what else works pretty well? Oh, no, don't go away yet. What else can work quite well is some good old-fashioned humour and pranking. That was unplanned. Thank you for that, Jane. I can hear you guys giggling out there now. Find those moments where you can, though. Find those moments of attunement. She was feeling funny and silly. Now I'm feeling a bit funny and silly, but that's a good thing. Our brains need those moments of connection, and dear God, we need a sense of humour right now as well. So I hope you have enjoyed our very brief. This is why everyone's going on about routine. This is why it is so important to find that routine. There's an emu now. I'm going to finish up and go have a chat to Jane. And I do hope you guys are all doing really, really well. And I'll be posting a little handout, a little reminder for this. The emu squeaks. I'll be posting a little reminder about this after I've had a chat with Jane and the emu. Thanks, everybody. Bye.